What is up, y'all? I am back from Japan, y'all, so it's been like a hot minute since I filmed, but while I was gone, I was actually thinking, oh my gosh, a lot of things are gonna pop off because if you guys watch my videos regularly, every single time that I'm away, whether it be for a weekend, whether it be for a week, whatever the case may be, everything seems to like hit the fan while I'm gone, and I'm like, damn. So then I'll have to like make a video in a hotel room or somewhere, do you know what I mean? In my car or something. And I feel like this time around, nothing popped off. The only thing that I saw on social media was this Tarte brand trip, and it's so crazy because I am seeing this blow up big time on TikTok as well as Instagram. And I feel kind of crazy because for the most part, I feel like when I see something, I feel like I pretty much generally agree with the people. However, this time around, I think that I have the hottest takes about this Tarte trip, and I think that this is probably gonna rub you guys the wrong way just based upon the comments that I am seeing on social media. But yeah, I really wanted to talk about this trip because I'm just gonna keep it real with you guys from the jump of this video. I don't really see the big deal with this. I really don't. I've said it before, and I just feel like a lot of times when things happen on brand trips, I feel like it's a lot of like drama amongst influencers, and then things will get leaked, do you know what I mean? But I feel like specifically with a brand deciding to use money that they would use for sponsorships, let's just say, or ads, they're taking, you know, these influencers on a trip. I feel like if they feel that that benefits them, then what's the problem with that? Do you know what I mean? And I'm going to be reading a lot of comments because I did screenshot a lot, and I did like take a lot of like screen recordings of so many influencers videos. I'm gonna be real with you guys too. Before even getting into this, I didn't really recognize any of the influencers. There is one, y'all, I never know how to pronounce his name, but I do follow him on Instagram, Lavidian Prince, I think that's how you pronounce it. He's the only one that I recognized. Everyone else, I was like, never heard of them. I think that they're trying to gather a whole new group of people, and a lot of people were actually saying, why are these people on a Tarte brand trip when they're not even known for makeup? But I think, in my personal opinion, that this is a good marketing strategy because, y'all, let's just keep it real. Most, like, you know, women will wear makeup these days, and most influencers, a lot of people will do get ready with me. It's like, get ready with me to go out to dinner, get ready with me to go to the airport. Like, you know what I mean? So many like get ready with me's are super popular on TikTok. So I feel like they were trying to do a good job of not necessarily just grabbing beauty influencers, but people who are known as social media influencers in general, because obviously this will bring a whole new audience to the Tarte brand. So I understand why they did it. I think that a lot of people were like, why are they on there? And I'm like, y'all, you have to think a little bit, because obviously if you are a brand, you're like, okay, how am I going to outsource? Like, obviously we know that the core makeup lovers out there love Tarte, but then there are people out there who are not loyal to a specific brand. And if they reach out to this influencer who does so many get ready with me's on TikTok, and say, for example, they do have a core audience who's like, oh my gosh, what mascara is that? And what lipstick is that? Obviously, if these people start filming a bunch of get ready with me's with Tarte products, then people are going to be like, oh my gosh, I never heard of this. Do you know what I mean? So I do think that it is a smart way to like outsource by using different influencers rather than just beauty influencers, which I think that threw a lot of people off because people were thinking of the old Tarte brand trips where it's like, you know, Manny MUA and Laura Lee and like all these like, you know, big beauty influencers. And now it's just like influencers in general rather than just beauty. But we're going to be talking about everything within today's video. And like I said, y'all, I'm just letting you guys know from the jump, I really do feel like apparently I do have some hot takes about this, so letting you guys know, take it with a grain of salt, y'all. But once again, it is just my opinion, and that is just it. So if you guys are interested, of course, go ahead and keep on watching. Make sure you guys give this video a big thumbs up. Also, don't forget, I do have a new podcast channel. It'll be linked down below. By the way, I did just get back from Japan. I do want to let you guys know, we filmed a little bit of a story time of coming back from Japan. A little bit of a heads up, that episode is low-key a little bit boring, which this is my first time saying this because every single episode has been so lit, so fun, like such a good time. This one, we were a little bit tired, y'all. Like, honestly, it's been really hard to adjust with that 17-hour time change, so we're a little bit like, oh, you know what I mean? So just letting you guys know, the energy might be a little bit off within that video, but it's just because we were so tired and we're like, oh my gosh, y'all, struggling to stay awake at 7:30 p.m. That's when we were filming the video, because in our minds we were like, oh my gosh, it's like, you know, 5 a.m. Anyways, y'all, that is, oh, also too, speaking of Japan, coming back from there, I will have shorts as well as TikToks and YouTube videos coming up soon. So my travel YouTube will be linked down below, so make sure you guys go show some love over there too. So let me shut up, let's go ahead and get into it. Now, I do want to go in the kind of like chronological order of which I was seeing things in, not of which things were posted, just letting you guys know. I feel like that doesn't even really matter anyways, but I do want to say the very first thing that I saw, which was getting a lot of traction on TikTok, and it did pop up on my For You page, is this influencer by the name of Abby Buffo. I hope that's how you pronounce it. She posted this clip of all the influencers on this private jet, and it was with the song A Fergie playing in the background, like, if you ain't got no money, take your broke ass home. And obviously the song is like all about flying first class, you know. A lot of people were upset about this. People were saying like, this is very tone deaf, this is very messed up. And I could understand within that specific like wording how you could think that way. Obviously, y'all, we are on the brink of a recession, y'all. Literally, it's so funny. I was just talking about this the other day because one of my cousins had made a comment about like me having money, and I was like, where is this money that you speak of? Well, you just got back from Japan. I'm like, I am paying 18 months on that Japan trip, y'all. I am that type of person that I will put, if there is Afterpay, if there's a firm, I am going to put it on there, okay? And I think that people get it so misconstrued because I'm like over here like traveling, but I'm like, the way I choose to live my life, if I choose to live it in debt, that's just me, y'all. I'm not paying for these trips out of pocket when I pay for big trips like this. Y'all know this time around when I went to Japan, I just paid for my brother, and I was like, a firm is available. It had like a 6% interest rate. I was like, absolutely. My credit card's like 20% interest rate. So let me do that and I will pay 18 months on it. You know what I mean? And I'm so sorry, but when I was younger, if you guys know the name of this book, please let me know. I want to say when I was like 19, like between 19 and 21, I saw this book. And basically this book, I only read a little bit of it. I didn't read the full thing. It was basically about like living your life in debt because you just never know when you're going to leave this earth. So say for example, if you're out there like, oh my gosh, like I can't like go here or go there or whatever. And say for example, you do have the option of like putting things on a payment plan. Live your life and do that. You know what I mean? I know obviously sometimes it's easier said than done because sometimes you may get overwhelmed with bills. Totally get that. But I just feel like, y'all, I'm that type of person that I'm like, life is so damn short. Like I really want to go to Japan right now. Like let me put it on credit. Let me put it on a payment plan. Like whatever the case may be. And I know obviously other people like them, they're over here living luxury because it's, or luxurious because of the brand. And I know to a lot of people that may read as tone deaf, but I just feel like, hey, it's like a cute song that goes with the theme of them flying on a private jet. But I do want to say this though, because I did read a comment from this and I was like, wow, this to me, I was like, okay, the more I thought about it, I'm like, okay, you could have chose a different part of the song, right? Somebody wrote on their interesting song choice, and this person, Abby Buffo, had wrote back and said, never in a million years would have meant this in a rude or disrespectful way. Just a fun trending sound about flying first class. Very sorry if it came off that way, not my intent. Now, I do want to say this. They specifically emphasized, a lot of the comments emphasized on, you ain't got no money, take your broke ass home, right? But the whole core of the song is like, flying first class, up in the sky, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? She could have obviously just put that portion of the song. Who knows? Maybe that portion was the only portion available. I do know that there are sometimes like before when I haven't made TikToks in forever, but before I'd be like, damn, I want this portion of the song and it wasn't available. Maybe it wasn't available. But I'm going to keep it real with you guys. Either which way, if a person posting on a private jet, whether it be Kim Kardashian, whether it be Bill Gates, whether it be Oprah, whether it be Beyonce, I don't care who it is. If they post that, like whatever, it is what it is. And I just feel like, yes, it does suck. Yes, it is unfortunate that we have like all these elites in the world who just have, you know, the access to everything at the tip of their fingers. I'm not going to sit here and be like such a hater of that. I'm not going to be so jealous of that. Do you know what I mean? Of course, yeah, I could see how it definitely could be tone deaf, 100%. Like, while I'm sitting over here reapplying for EBT and putting my trip on a damn 18-month payment plan, obviously I'm the first person to be like, oh, this is so tone deaf, you know what I mean? Because look at what I have to do. But it's like, no, at the end of the day, maybe I should like get up, work harder, strive, you know, a little bit, I don't know, like more to get things done. And I don't know, I just feel like a lot of times people on the social media just, I don't know, get a little sensitive in my personal opinion. Like, do I think it's tone deaf? Sure. But also, is it that really big of a deal? I don't really think so. Y'all, this is like the #1 liked comment on that video. It says, can't wait to run to Sephora and buy anything but Tarte. This has 19.2 thousand likes on this. Well, actually, that's the second most liked comment because the first one, interesting song choice, did have 20.6 thousand likes on it. Y'all, people were up in arms about this. So many people are saying that they're not going to be supporting Tarte anymore. And I just wanted to go ahead and read some of the comments right here just from some posts. Y'all, I was taking these comments from several different posts, just letting you guys know, whether it be from Instagram or whether it be from TikTok. I just wanted to bring up some things to talk about because I don't know, I guess maybe I just have a different view of this. I think that if this brand wants to invest $1 million into a brand trip and they think that they're like getting a big tax write-off for this and they think that this brand trip is so beneficial to them, then they could run their business how they want to. Do you know what I mean? And I just wanted to like read some of the comments, that way we can have an open conversation about it, because I was like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like they can do whatever they please. Do you know what I mean? And then at the end of the day, hey, the consumer can do whatever they please. If they don't want to support Tarte anymore, then they don't have to support Tarte anymore. Anyways, this is a comment right here from their post, actually from Tarte. It says, what if, and hear me out, you sent a group of your customers on a brand trip, the people who actually buy your products? I don't know, ... I'm just throwing things out there. And this does have 224 likes, so obviously a lot of people do agree with this comment right here. But I do want to say, as nice as that would be, and y'all, it's so crazy, I've said this before, I'll say it again, it would be my dream to be like a multi-millionaire just to like surprise people with things, because I think that that would be so rewarding and make me feel so good as a person that I would love to do that. But we are speaking about a brand here who obviously is taking money out of what would be marketing and taking these group of individuals on a trip to market a product. Do you know what I mean? To sell a product. And I think a lot of people have this comment like, take your customers on a brand trip. But at the end of the day, say for example, even me, who like y'all, I don't really have a lot of followers on social media, especially being that I've been on social media for like damn near 8 years now. Well, maybe like 7.5 years now. I don't have a lot of followers. I don't even think it would be beneficial for them to take me on the trip. Like if I were to film TikToks about it, like what am I going to get? Only 1,000 views? You know what I mean? That's not going to be beneficial for them. They obviously selected this group of individuals to help promote the product, and they want to get views around Tarte in general. So it's like, yes, that would be a nice gesture, but then I feel like at that point it would be a 100% company loss, because are they really going to get that much views out of it, you know? Of course, this day and age, when it comes down to social media, you never really know. Like somebody with 100 followers can pull in 20 million views on TikTok. Do you know what I mean? So you don't really know. But at the end of the day, they're obviously going with the for sure shot over here. Like, oh, this person has 1.1 million followers, and this person over here has 900,000 followers. So obviously they know they're going to get X amount of views. Do you know what I mean? And then somebody else on here is, it's 2024. Are brand trips still necessary or effective? Now, I specifically screenshotted this one because I wanted to talk about this, because I personally, okay, I guess I'm playing a little bit of devil's advocate here, because I'm at the same hand saying, you know what, if they want to do their like advertising this way, let them, like, who cares? It is what it is. I do want to know though, what is the difference between them taking them on a trip and then just paying like somebody like Michaela $250,000 to do like a sponsorship? Do you know what I mean? I wonder if them going on this trip, which y'all, from the looks of it, that trip probably cost $1 million, literally, like with all the private jets, the private bungalows, they're staying like in all these like exclusive places, those like Hilton water resorts. Do you know what I mean? And then on top of that too, they got like vlogging cameras, they got Jordans, they got Bays, I think it's called, luggage, which is expensive. I always see the advertisement pop up on my TikTok. They got all of these things, y'all. So like, I would say per person, like, damn, I'm thinking that they probably spend like a good 25 grand per person, you know? And I don't know how many people were on there, but it did look like a lot. I want to know, and a lot of people, I guess, apparently are on the same boat as me when it comes down to this, how is doing brand trips more beneficial for you rather than just doing ads? Like, I wouldn't quite understand that. I do think, like, as a brand owner, like, hey, it would be fun to do a brand trip of, like, say, for example, just one of, like, oh my gosh, these people right here, like, oh, these 12 influencers really helped me sell my products this year. They made me, you know, $2 million. I'm going to take them on a trip. I understand that, but Tarte specifically has done brand trip after brand trip, like, numerous amounts of times. And I don't know if you guys remember, I want to say it was just last year. Don't quote me on this, y'all. You guys know I'm bad with my time frames. But I want to say just last year, they did a little bit of a brand trip to see the, like, Formula One racing. Is that what it was called? I believe that's what it was called, in, like, Miami or something like that. I don't know, some race or something like that. And there was some drama that popped off around that too. And I'm just like, I don't really understand how it's more beneficial to take people on a trip rather than just pay them for posting. That's just me personally. And you know what's so funny too is if I was like a popular influencer, I would rather, like, say for example, this trip's gonna cost like $25,000. I would rather you just pay me $25,000 for a post. I would rather take the money rather than go on this trip. Do you know what I mean? Because in my personal opinion, y'all, don't get me wrong, it does look fun. Y'all know I love to travel. Hello, I have a whole travel channel and travel TikTok and everything. I love to travel, but I just feel like you have to be so phony and just like up everyone else's ass, and that's just not me, y'all. I have like 3 friends and I have my small little group of people for a reason, because I don't mesh with other people and I just don't like pretending to be fake. Do you know what I mean? Everyone has to like pretend to get along, and let's just keep it real, sometimes you just don't mesh with people. So I'm like, I don't know how I would feel on a group trip anyways, but I do want to know, in your guys' personal opinion, how do you guys find this to be effective? Because that's one thing that I'm like, how are you making money from this? Like, don't you think it's better for you to just get out there and like pay all these influencers for ads and sponsorships rather than, you know, taking them on a trip? But that's just me. Anyways, moving on here. Tarte is trash to me now. This trip is so incredibly tone deaf. 2025 vibe, taking the actual workers of people who actually buy Tarte on the bougie expensive trips. I don't quite understand that. I'm like, oh, duh, I read it wrong. Let me reread that. 2020 vibe, taking the actual workers or people who actually buy Tarte on the bougie expensive trips. Now, the first one, y'all, everyone and their mom calls it tone deaf. Now, I do understand like people calling it tone deaf, but how come people don't call it tone deaf when you are paying an influencer $250,000 for a post? Because it's been reported before that Michaela is making anywhere from like $200,000 to like $350,000 per post on a sponsorship, right? So I'm like, how is that not tone deaf? The way I view it is if this brand, say for example, per year has $1 million available for marketing, if they decide to spend that $1 million on a brand trip, or whether they decide to spend that $1 million on just advertising and marketing through paying influencers, what's really the difference? Do you know what I mean? That's where I think it's kind of like, okay, it's, you know, they're choosing of how they want to go ahead and spread the product. I think this is just my personal opinion, and this is my hottest take right here, which I feel like a lot of people would disagree with me on, and that's totally fine. But I think a lot of people see them and get a little bit jealous because they're like, oh my gosh, they're flying first class, they're going to these Bora Bora resorts, they're flying on private jets, like all of this stuff looks so luxurious. And I'm gonna keep it real with you guys, I look at that and say, damn, I wish I could travel like that. Every single time I've traveled, it's never been in luxury. I have never flown first class. I am in the back of the airplane, like, y'all, I can't afford all that, you know what I mean? So when I do look at that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I would love to make that happen. But I'm gonna keep it real with you, I look at that and I'm like, I need to work harder. Like, I need to grind a little bit more if I want to be flying first class, and if I want to be on a private jet, if I want to go to these expensive Hilton water bungalow resorts in Bora Bora, like, I need to work harder to get there. I'm not going to look and just be like, oh my gosh, this is so this and that. Do you know what I mean? I understand, obviously, when they're all like throwing it all in your face, everyone's like, damn. But at the end of the day, it's like, if you're here in America, we all have the same opportunity to like work harder to like make those things happen, or be like me and just put it on a payment plan. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, and then another person did comment, like this other person, that said, why not send actual day-to-day Tarte employees instead? This is something that I do think should happen, as far as like, say for example, you know, if you have extra seats on the plane, or if you have an extra resort, whatever, like, I feel like there should be maybe like a raffle, or maybe there is like a employee of the month type of thing. I do think that some employees should definitely be invited on the trip, but who's to say that they weren't? You know what I mean? There was several people in the picture that was posted, so I'm like, what if some of them are actual Tarte employees, or what if they just didn't want to be in the picture? What if they're really there? These are things that we don't know. But then also, I do want to say too, is at the end of the day, it's like, obviously they're going to once again go for the influencers, because I know the influencers are going to bring in these views. But maybe there are some employees there. I do think, like, me personally, like, if I owned a brand, y'all, just keeping it real, that's something that I would do. I'd be like, y'all, I'm taking my employees and we're going to Hawaii. Like, that just would make me feel good, because obviously, and I've said this before, if you guys have watched my Sephora videos, because I bitch a lot about Sephora and how they treat their employees, I've always said, like, y'all, if I'm making millions of dollars, I want to treat the people who help me make those millions of dollars, I want to treat them good and show them, like, oh my gosh, you guys are changing my life, so let me help out with yours. Do you know what I mean? I do think that obviously sometimes people do get a little bit greedy though, so I don't know. Y'all, there is a lot of other people who are down that same, you know, boat, as far as like, this is tone deaf, this is ridiculous, I'm no longer going to be purchasing from Tarte. I do obviously understand all those things. I just think, I don't know, I guess I think of it in a way as far as like, okay, if they're gonna spend $1 million this way or that way, it's the same thing, who really cares, right? That's just my opinion on it. Obviously, I know everyone else completely disagrees, and like I said, that's totally fine. But there is one other person on here that did comment, I feel like low-key, which was kind of like the only comment agreeing with me on Tarte's page. Well, kind of. It's a long comment, y'all. It says, it makes me sad how common it is to tear down other people because they get to do something fun and exciting. We all, especially the ladies, since that's who I'm seeing in the icky comments, from need to be better and uplifting each other. I didn't get invited. Of course it would be a dream, but just because someone else gets to do something you want to do does not mean they took that from you. I didn't grow up getting to go to family vacations, but that didn't mean my friends who went were stealing from me. Going to dip in a lake or running around in the green belt was an adventure itself and a blessing. I treasure that time looking back. So happy to see these girlies have a great time. All of us get to our own wins in due season. Thanks for sharing the beautiful photos. That's kind of how I feel about it too, y'all. I'm gonna keep it so real with you. Like, when I was growing up, and I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about this, I was dead poor, and I literally had a best friend who, oh my gosh, his family like owned their own construction site. His dad was like a contractor. The mom ran the whole construction site. They were making bank, and it was so crazy because y'all, they get to go everywhere and buy everything. They were staying in, getting new cars. Y'all, this fool got a damn, for his 16th birthday, a Cadillac, what was it called, XTX, brand new off the lot. Like, I never was sitting there like being like, oh my gosh, I'm so jealous, this is so tone deaf, like how are you getting all these things just because I'm poor? No, I was sitting there, I was excited for him, I was happy for him, and I was like, I know I'm gonna be sitting shotgun in that car, you know what I mean? And I just feel like those types of things are not for you to like hate on. That's just me and where I come from. Like, I don't know, I'm not gonna sit here and knock anybody else's blessings, you know what I mean? If like my neighbor wins the lottery, like I'm not gonna sit here and hate on them, do you know what I mean? Do I wish it was me? Absolutely. But if I didn't, I didn't, and that's just it. There is one specific influencer that I wanted to talk about on this brand trip who it was really throwing me off, because everyone was getting so much hate except for this one girl. Her name is Samantha Joe. And y'all, if you guys head over to her TikToks about the trip, everyone and their mom is like praising her. Like the comments are like, so excited to see you on this trip, this trippy. I'll be single watching, or I'll be, what the hell am I reading, y'all? I'll be binge watching these videos. First one I've actually seen jump into the water. Most relatable word goes to you. I want to go to Bora Bora, but I'm pora. That's just so funny. Literally the comments go on. Quite literally believe that you were meant for this Tarte trip. Like, y'all, wait, the blue bathing suit they picked out looks amazing on you. Like, everyone is uplifting her. And I want to know, it's throwing me off, because if you guys actually go onto TikTok and search in their Tarte brand trip drama, every influencer is like getting heat for it except for this one influencer. So I'm like, this is really confusing. Like, why is this girl Samantha Joe not getting any heat for it? I'm sure obviously she's really loved, and I'm sure like people probably really like her, but then I'm just like, wait, she's on the same trip though, so do you know what I mean? I'm not getting it. Anyways, I am so sorry if y'all disagree with me on this. I'm sorry, but I stand by my opinion. I feel that if they're on this, you know, big old bougie brand trip, good for them. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully, like, one day you'll get to experience that, or you know what? I don't know. Honestly, I'm gonna keep it with you. I was gonna say hopefully one day I'll get to experience that, and then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, I would not want to be on that trip with that many people, because I just know I'm bound to be like, oh, I'm just a little bit too trashy. I think I'm just a little bit too ghetto to like be around all people like that, because I just feel like a lot of influence, y'all, after all these years, is why I have never had one single influencer friend. It's because every single person that I have met, I'm like, ew, you're so snooty, you're so uppity, you're so fake. Everyone's just so focused on numbers, you know what I mean? That I'm like, I don't care to be around that type of energy. Like, I really don't, like, at all. So that's why I'm like, I was gonna say one day it'll be me, but I'm like, one day it'll be me alone. You know what I mean? That would be nice. Anyways, make sure you guys let me know what you guys think about this whole Tarte trip. Make sure you guys let me know what you think about my opinion too. You guys can let me have it in the comments. I know clearly I'm pretty much the only person saying like, okay, if they want to go on this brand trip, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, I do. Girl, I feel like, and if you guys start talking, oh my gosh, what is little gnat? If you guys start talking about like, as far as like private jets and stuff like that, like, y'all, let's look at Taylor Swift, let's look at Kylie Jenner, let's look at Kim Kardashian, let's look at Oprah Winfrey. Like, come on, let's look at all these people who are flying private all the time. These people are not flying private, not even 1% as much as these celebrities. So I wouldn't even bring that into the conversation, because I feel like at that point it's just really not valid. But make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, Girl Scout.